just got off a phone with an IT leader, and he brought up something that's I consider a myth, and I want to address it with everybody out there today. As many of you know, I have some blogs on the idea of reactive versus proactive versus strategic IT. And his issue was that he said he has a reactive team and he wants to make it more proactive, but he can't do it because he doesn't have the budget to do it. And that's the myth. You don't need to have more budget to make your team more proactive. When you get into further stages and getting towards strategic, you may need to do people shifts, and maybe it will cost you more money then. But the initial piece of moving from reactive to proactive is all under your control and actually doesn't have to take very long at all. I think that if you do what I'm suggesting to you, you could start freeing up your people, and within 3 months to 6 months, you should be able to have significant more proactive IT than you do today. So there are 3 buckets you want to take a look at. The first bucket is operational task reduction. In my experience, 75 to 90% of your staff time, if you're a reactive group, is spent on operational tasks that repeat over and over and over again. What you need to do is work with the people that are there. I do it the first day I get there. When I'm getting introduced to everybody, I ask them, hey, can you get me a list of all these operational tasks that you do on a regular basis? Once you've got that list, you have to collaborate with them to figure out what you can do with these tasks. Some of them you're going to be able to eliminate. These aren't going to be frequent, but there are going to be some that you can find that either was from a misunderstanding or an old understanding that you can just get rid of without any other work. Delegation. Now this works 2 ways. It could be delegating to someone else in IT. Let's say you have, in my case, I had a high value senior business analyst who I wanted to be working on a lot more projects. He was doing operational tasks, which could have easily been done by a support analyst. So the decision was we could delegate from him down to the support analyst with a little bit of training. It could also be delegating back to the business. A lot of times we take on tasks within IT that really belong within the business. We do it for a number of reasons. It's easier for ourselves. We don't need to have the same level of documentation. We don't have to give the same level of training. And just overall, it's easier for us to solve it than to open it up and allow them to solve the problem. Because sometimes there are even security issues that we have to concern ourselves with by giving them authority that we don't want them to necessarily have. The real answer is that we don't do it because we don't have enough. And this comes to my third one, is self-service. We need to find ways to allow people to do more of those tasks that they should be doing. It's not efficient for IT to doing tasks that should be in the business. Let's eliminate that waste. Let's find ways to self-service. My favorite, though it is the one that takes a little bit more time, is to automate. There are going to be certain tasks that are being done on a monthly basis that a human doesn't even have to do, that this could be done with all this wonderful technology that we're doing. Basic message is, IT, we need to take our own medicine that we preach to everybody else in the business and try to find ways to do this so people are working smarter. If you do this, first month you ask them for the task list. Second month you start working with them on the eliminate, delegate, self-service, and automate. You're never going to get rid of them all, but you're going to get rid of a major portion. Third month, you're going to have to concentrate on trying to explain to them why all those things they say we have to do, we really don't have to do, and what can fit into one of those 4 buckets. If you do this within the first quarter, you should be able to significantly reduce the staff time that is working on reactive IT. Within 6 months, you'll probably reduce this by at least 15%. So you go at least from a 75% down to a 60% amount of time people are spending on operational tasks. And once you do that, you've got more time that they can be spending on more important things inside your organization. Next area you can look at is support task reduction. This is a simple one, and when I mean support task, I don't mean just your help desk people. I mean anyone that is working on issues that come up today. Firefighting, which is probably 90% of your IT group, is spending firefighting at least some time. Stop solving symptoms. Solve root causes. Sounds easy, but I bet you that if you right now got a list of all the support tasks that occurred in the last week, and take a look at the list, you're going to find at least some that are repetitive. And in fact, if you take a look at it over a month, you're going to find that they repeat over and over and over again. This is because we solve symptoms and not root causes. You need to push the team to start doing that root causal analysis, and that is actually worth some of the time to do the analysis than it is to fix and solve the problem right away. Of course, you have to balance it. It's not something, if we have a true down situation and everybody can't do any of their work, obviously we need to bring this back up as soon as possible. But there are lots of things that we could take the time to do that analysis and do it. Again, large percentage of time you can solve here with your support staff if you actually go and solve those root causes. The last thing and the hardest is reduction of incoming work. A lot of times what a reactive IT team is doing is focusing on what the business wants and not what the business needs. This is an important differentiator. It is when somebody comes with a request that says, we need to turn this red button and make it blue, that's obviously a low value add. We need to really think about what does the business really, really need and start having those conversations with them in a proactive way so that we're spending less time on just these incremental wants, which may fiddle-faddle and go back and forth a couple of times, to getting to what they actually need. If you do this, if you do these three things, if you look at your operational tasks, your support task reduction, reduction of incoming work, you will improve your customer satisfaction by at least 10 to 20%. My experience is about 23% is what I saw. And you will improve your amount of time that people can spend having actual conversations to become more proactive. It's not that hard. And once you're there, you can start making that value proposition to the business on why you need to have more or different personnel to do certain things that you need to get done to get more strategic. But right now, let's focus on that first step of how to move from reactive to proactive without breaking the budget. Hope it helps. Please contact me if you want to talk about it some more and how I can help you in your particular problem. Thanks and have a great day.